Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps up to date with players that may link with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Sunday, lovely day, but how embarrassing was that yesterday for every Arsenal fan, long-suffering Arsenal fan, when it comes to the transfer windows, to find out that yet again, a main target of Arsenal has been stolen away by another club. We've been gazumped yet again. The more embarrassing thing about this one is that it's not Man United, it's not Chelsea, Moneybags, Man City, it's Aston Villa. And of course, the player I'm talking about is Buendia. Seemed like number one target for Arsenal this summer. We've been chasing this guy since last year, right? Again, we were looking at him in January. This summer now, it seemed like he was the number one target for Arsenal. There were reports last week that we bid £30 million for him. That was out on Sky, that we then upped our bid to 35 million. And yesterday we learned that he's on the verge of joining Aston Villa. Yes, Villa, right? Initial fee agreed of £33 million. Could rise up to £38 million. I also see in that deal that apparently there could be other additional add-ons like a 10% selling on fee. You know, they just blew us out the water. And Buendia is heading at this moment in time to Aston Villa. All the reports are is that the medical was done over in Argentina, where he's been at. He is at the moment. That's all sorted. Personal terms agreed. Buendia is on his way to Aston Villa. Arsenal gazumped by Villa. And you know, the other thing about it that we need to worry about as well. Remember, we just about finished, just above Villa? Villa for a long time in the league were above us. Remember, we finished in 8th. These are the sort of teams we're competing with at the moment. Look at what Villa's midfield will be. Grealish, Buendia, you know, Douglas Luiz. I mean, that's a very, very good midfield, right? Better than ours. It's very worrying times for Arsenal, you know, and to miss out on this deal. I mean, I saw Arsenal fans raging. We got a little WhatsApp group here on AFTV. We were all in there doing our nut. We were like, what is going on with this football club? You know, it's our transfer business, year in, year out. Since I've been doing this show, since I very first started doing AFTV, it's always frustrating. However, the only thing I would say is this because Arsenal have got something else lined up? Who else are they going to go for? Could they, for instance, be returning back for a bid for Aouar? Remember last year, Aouar was the number one target. We didn't get him either. But he was the number one target last year. Aouar, Leon, 22 years of age, of course, valued around about 30 to 40 million pounds. He's valued way above that last year, but of course the pandemic and everything. He hasn't had as great a season this year for Leon. 8 goals and 4 assists in all competitions, but still a highly rated player. French international, still very young. If Arsenal went and got Aouar, you know, a player's been playing at a higher level, let's face it, than Buendia. You know, he's been playing in Champions Leagues and stuff like that. I think every fan would be like, okay, fair enough. We understand. We understand why you didn't get, you know, why you didn't go and get Buendia, because you've gone and got this guy that's potentially better. But that's only if we go and do something like that. Or could we be returning for Martin Odegaard? Odegaard, of course, who came on loan to Arsenal. I thought he'd done very well on loan. Still only 22, did really, really well, as I said. You could see he was really growing into his role at Arsenal, and he brought a lot of creativity to the team. And to be honest, it's when he got injured, you know, we started to fall back into a bit of a lull again at Arsenal. And, you know, we could have done with him really a fit Odegaard when we had that semi-final in the Europa League. I don't think anybody would be against him coming back as well. You could see that he's only going to get better, but can we get him away from Real Madrid? All the reports are that he's returned. Well, he has returned to Madrid, but he's going to return back there permanently. That Carlo Ancelotti wants to see what he's made of, and that he will be figuring in that Real Madrid setup. Or if they do sell him, it will be more money than Buendia. They'll be looking, the reports are they're looking for about £50 million for Odegaard, that is a huge amount of money. And if we can't be prepared to pay this sort of money for Buendia, how are we going to get that one done? So that's another option that possibly he could be coming back. There's other midfielders being linked. As you can imagine, because this has fallen through, everybody who, all these people who put these rumours together and get the rumours out there are thinking to themselves, well, who else are Arsenal after? Have they got somebody else in mind? And a couple of names have been coming up. What about this one? From West Brom, Matheus Pereira. Had a good season last year, Pereira. You know what? When you look at Buendia, and everybody says, oh, he done brilliantly last year in the Championship. And even when he was in the Premier League, he did well. Well, Matheus Pereira done well in a really poor West Brom team that got relegated. It's very similar to what Buendia did when he was at Norwich when they were in the Premier League. His stats say 6 assists in 33 games, 11 goals. That's a great goal return. We know we don't score enough goals from midfield. I was very impressed every time I saw Pereira, a very skillful player. And his valuation would be around about £15 million. It would be way cheaper. That's said to be the fee that they'd be willing to let him go for West Brom. Brighton interested in him. Also, Villa. So we're going to have another bidding war with Villa for Pereira. But he's a very good player, and he's getting linked to Arsenal today. I'm not too sure how serious these links are. More of these links are more at the moment appearing because everybody now knows that Arsenal haven't got Buendia, so they're looking for somebody. So he's one of the players that have appeared, and as I said, did well in a poor team in the Premier League this year. Previous to that, when they were in the Championship, he was like the best player in the Championship. He was unreal, bit like what was with Buendia. So lots of parallels, but way cheaper, right? Also, another player that's been linked with Arsenal, just up the road in the West Midlands, plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and that's Ruben Neves of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Neves is still only 24, Neves. Good player. Good player. Wolverhampton Wanderers said to be willing to let him go for around about £35 million. Again, we know he's a guy that scores lots of goals from outside the box. I'm not sure how super creative he is, as a sort of creative midfielder. I'm not sure if he's the most creative midfielder in the world, but what he does do is he scores a lot of goals from outside the box. He's very dangerous in that position, and that's one thing that our midfield does not bring us: goals from outside of the box. So he would be a good signing. I think Arsenal fans would like that, but again, won't be cheap, £35 million or more. But the rumours are Wolves would be willing to let him go this summer. So again, let's see how that one pans out. No real definitive links yet, but lots of sort of, publications and that starting to put our name to Ruben Neves. We were linked today as well to a player who's been described as the Brazilian Paul Pogba. Right? A lot of that to do with his physicality and the fact that he's got a great range of passing and a great shot on him. His name is Moutinho. He plays for Fluminense over there in Brazil. He's only 18, and he's creating a lot of interest at the moment from Arsenal, apparently, according to reports. Manchester City also said to be very interested in him as well. So one to keep an eye on, but we've been linked with him today. And what's going to happen with Eddie Nketiah? Now, Eddie, we know, he had a poor season last year. He was given quite a lot of chances, to be honest, just didn't produce. It's very difficult as a young player when you come in, especially in that striker position. You're expected to hit the ground running. He didn't. He didn't really do it, and he didn't really figure towards the end of the season at all. And Arsenal willing to let him go this summer. They want around about £20 million for him. I think that valuation might be a bit high, considering that he hardly scored any goals last season. But Leeds are said to be interested in bringing him back to Ellen Road. He was there on loan a couple of seasons ago. It was a mixed loan. You know what I mean? I remember speaking to a mate of mine who's a big Leeds fan. And when he came back to Arsenal in January, he was a little bit dismayed because he was like, you know what, Robbie, the Leeds fans like Eddie Nketiah. He didn't really score many goals there. Bielsa didn't really seem to fancy him, and they sent him back to Arsenal. However, there's a lot of reports coming out of Yorkshire that they might be willing to bring him in as a backup to Patrick Bamford. And Eddie might be willing to go back to Leeds because, as I said, I had a decent relationship with the fans there. I'm not sure about this link. Let's see how it pans out. Definitely Arsenal looking to move him on this summer. And, you know, they're going to use that money, hopefully, to buy other players. As we can see, if they're getting outbid by Aston Villa, it doesn't bode well for the amount of money Arsenal have got ready to get transfers done. It's what I've been saying since the start of the season. You know, there was this big suggestion that the Cronkies are going to put their hand in their pocket and spend millions upon millions. At the moment, it's not looking that way. It's not looking that way at all. It's looking like same old, but it's still very early. It's giving the benefit of the doubt at the moment, but it's not looking good. By the way, on yesterday's show, thank you very much for all the comments. So many comments, loving it from you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some live shows as well, right? So I want to do some live shows where I really get you guys involved with, you know, your comments on things. So look out for some of those live shows. But there's some great comments yesterday. I asked you guys about this linking Kieran Trippier with a move to Arsenal in a swap deal for Hector Bellerin. It seems very unlikely, but I asked you guys about it and what you guys would you be up for that? Here's a couple of comments. TA said the Trippier deal could either be a Sol Campbell or another Willian. I like that one. He's spot on with that. Probably Willian knowing us, right? Crypto Time. He said, I would take the swap. I don't care who he played for. He says, honestly, I don't care. So he'd take it. And there was another one who came from Joe. He says, we don't need Trippier. He's overrated, too old, and ex-Tottenham. Would prefer the right back from Ajax. So that was a few of your comments there. Thank you very much for those comments, and keep those comments coming in on the video. But thank you very much for watching the show today. I know it's a bit depressing. You know, we've missed out on Buendia. It's embarrassing, but only embarrassing if we don't go out there and get someone in that position that's better than Buendia. If we don't, was it telling us about what this summer's going to be like? Thanks for watching the show. I'll be back in the morning, of course, at 10 o'clock here with another AFTV Transfer Daily.